So the neighbor just came over and told me an interesting story about what we were looking at here last week and why this has new wood and that is the old board and bat. I love finding little camps and building them up and finding homes that nobody wants anymore and making them nice. So today I'm all by myself. Ella's been off on vacation all week, hanging out at Lake George, doing fun stuff. Today I'm here. It's almost lunchtime. I brought some food with me, but I really want to clean up the yard today and get a good look of like what the curb appeal of this place would be when it's all cleaned up. I've weed whacked it a few times, but today I'm going to do a little bit more, remove that tree that's behind us and clean up some of this other stuff and take a look. And then I'd also like to knock down the bathroom so I can actually see the space that the kitchen's going to be in. Those are the two things I'm going to try to accomplish today. Oh, what kind of equipment? These are some cheap rubber farm boots. Oh, this giant weed whacker. Giant weed whacker. Big horsepower. So I'm using a weed whacker because there's sticks, rocks, things I just don't know that's out here. So I don't want to screw it up with a regular mower and break it. We'll get this done. You guys hate the new gas cans too? Spraying gas everywhere even before you can get it into the engine. Stupid design. So the neighbor just came over and told me an interesting story about what we were looking at here last week and why this has new wood and that is the old board and bat. Apparently the deck that was here was a little bit bigger and had a built-in barbecue in it. There's a hint. We'll talk in a minute. I'm dying. So hot. So hot. And parched. Yes, please. I'm sweating hard. I'm sweating hard, folks. So apparently this was put on about 15 years ago-ish. Guy came over from next door and said, hey, did the previous owner tell you that there was a fire here? I'm like, no. He goes, oh, that's interesting. I think so. He proceeded to say that when the previous owners, which would put it back another 5 or 6 years, when their kids were teens, they would come up here when the season was kind of closed and then go in and like hang out and party like teens do. I know because I did it. But you have to picture this area with 3-foot round pine trees like this one. But everywhere. So this whole area would have been covered in pine needles and pine cones galore. He said this was a little bit bigger and was rebuilt because it used to come out a bit farther and have like a built-in propane gas grill, fire, whatever, outside here. Was all connected to it. So the story goes like this. He hears a knock on the door at like 11:30 at night and it's kind of frantic. And he's like, who the hell is this? Because we're up here in the woods. Nobody knocks on anybody's door in the middle of the night. It's not a smart move. if you know what I mean. He goes to the door, and as he's approaching the door, it's like daylight outside. So he's kind of groggy, trying to figure out what's going on. And he sees one of the kids from next door banging on the door, and he's yelling through the glass of the door, "Can I borrow your garden hose?" And he's still trying to figure out what's going on. So he comes out the door and looks over, and there's just flames. And it's bright, and he's like, "You don't need a garden hose. You need the fire department." The kid's like, no fire, don't call the police. You can't put this out. This is too big. He's like, "I'm calling him." And he pulls out his cell phone. He starts dialing the number. His buddy's over there in the driveway, standing there, their car's off to the side. And as he's dialing the phone number, he sees one of the kids run over and dive through one of the windows to get back into the house, because probably at this time, this was the only door in and out of this place. Yeah, so that dude came flying in through the window. The neighbor sent his wife and his kids, and he told them to take off and get out of here, because once these trees lit on fire, they'd come down across the road and it'd be way too dangerous. And then the kid comes diving back out of the window, falling on the ground. He's got a backpack over his shoulder, gets in the car, and tears out of here. Obviously, they either had alcohol or something else in their bag, and they didn't want to get arrested. So his buddy takes off with whatever was in his backpack, leaving the owner's son here, who was a teenager at the time. Fire department shows up. It puts it all out. This whole wall was burned. That's why it is recited, which we knew something had happened to it. And probably why all the inside has new sheetrock all in this part. It was probably wood or something along those lines that got completely destroyed. And that's why there's a hodgepodge of materials in the wall, because they probably just scabbed together a bunch of lumber, whatever they could salvage to do this. Because when the fire department shows up, they got to cut open all these walls, tear everything out, get it opened up so they can get everything put out. But you can see how it's seamed, framed out. So it's like they cut a chunk of this wall out and then rebuilt it, but then kept. This may have been new. This might be 15, 20 years old of just leaking and rotted out. I was thinking it was older than it was, but. Which leads us to what's going on down below here. I haven't seen any burn marks down on the floor joists, but that doesn't mean it's not there. Pretty funny story though. I'm still sweating like a banshee, but I'm gonna eat my lunch. It is chicken, peppers, red pepper, onion, and a little bit of cheese. And I am hungry. Well, I think I'm cooled off. Let's go get this little bit of garden bed cleaned up. We're gonna take this down. All I really see here is one big hosta and a fern, maybe two hosta and a big tree stump. So I gotta leave you guys down here over in the shade. It is way too hot in the sun. It'll cook the camera. Can you imagine that kid that burned down the cottage? Oh, Ella would be in so much trouble, like so much. So I took a long break. I was way overheated. Not quite to the point of heat stroke, but really hot. I'm good for the cold, not the hot. But we got this pretty cleaned up. I think it looks pretty good. Not bad, not bad. Cleaned up a little bit where this other stone wall is. I think I'd like to get enough stone to do a retaining wall all across here. Overall, I would say this is pretty good. I don't think I could do any more demo today. I am really Really toast. Even my voice is a little harsh today. Ella will be back tomorrow. So I saved all the sheetrock for her because that's what she was really looking forward to, is smashing holes in the walls and tearing down sheetrock. Also, we're going to demo out this piece because I really want to see this space all opened up. You know. See where mice got in. But the framing looks good. It's all, well, that's not good. That's supposed to be connected. That's not. I take it back. The framing is not good. If you could hit the subscribe, trying to get to 1,000 viewers before winter, it'd be cool. Appreciate you guys. Take care. Have a good one.